All right. We are off and rolling. What's up? What's up? Ugh. All right, let's see what we got here today. We've been on a pretty big downtrend here. Hourly chart. Just downtrend below the 200. We are still holding this downtrend. So hourly chart's on a downtrend. Let's see every other chart. 15-minute chart, also downtrend. Do got a little room to the upside though, as a correction. I'm gonna wait for this 5-minute candle to go ahead and close and play off that. Sellers coming in strong. I would want to see more of a little bit of a correction before shorting. Maybe correction near view op. Give me a second. Move. Is it good to invest? I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't give financial advice. As far as trading goes, that's also like everybody has different strategies, so I can't say, well, one market is good to trade in for one person but horrible for another person, so it just depends on what strategy you're using. And there's so many ways you can attack the market that it's not just one way works. Pretty big correction right there. If you look on the 5-minute chart, that one candle just engulfed the previous three. I forgot what that's called. What is that called? Forgot that term. Is the term trading when one candle takes out three candles. Forgot what the term is for that. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, 3-bar reversal. That's what it is, I think. I think that's what it is, a 3-bar reversal. When you have one candle like that take out the previous 3 bars, it's a pretty big sign of it continuing to go down. Man, I was hoping for a little bit bigger. If you look on the 15-minute chart, we have up here, we have all this previous support turned into resistance. I would want it. I can't talk. I would want it to kind of come up and test that previous resistance level, turn into new support. So I would want it to go a little bit higher than it did. It's all right. What is that? Oh, crap. 5-minute candle closed. Wow, that went by fast. All right, there's that 5-minute candle, that huge. Let's see. All right, there's the top. And then there's the bottom. Let's see. Ooh. Dang, boy. Honestly, that was not a bad correction. Crap, how did I not realize that? Oh, that was a... It's just tough, because... I want to see this thing push up higher and then form some structure to continue to the downside. Here, there was an opportunity here for this little correction for the lows. It would have been like a 20, 30 point move though. So the risk to reward wouldn't have been the best on it. I want this thing to correct itself a little bit. I'd rather wait for this, you know, for it to kind of push higher. Maybe take out these highs up here. Something better than this. It's gonna let it do its thing. Let it do its thing. News-wise, I don't remember if we got news today. Let's see. News. We have, yeah, we got orange folder news at 10 a.m. paired with yellow folder. So maybe some movement at 10 a.m. Gotta watch out for. Da, 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 da. This is actually pretty interesting, but I don't long below the view op, so this would be an interesting reversal play here. We have an imbalance back inside this range here. Man, I am actually tempted to take this, but freaking I don't like. I don't like going against the trend. Not smart, especially in this big downtrend market. This is NASDAQ. Got a few imbalances here that could keep this thing down, but we hit lows on a 15-minute chart. We just keep making lower low, new lows. So downside is at play. Just I would want to get a high taken out. The reason I like to wait for some high to get taken out and then some structure to form is because once a high gets taken out, that becomes my kind of safeguard that me thinking it shouldn't go for that high again. Tapping in, not yet. Got one more imbalance here that hasn't tapped into yet. We perfectly rejected off that 200, so patience, patience, patience. I'm at the point, it's like if I don't even take a trade today, I'm perfectly fine. I'm not, you know, I don't have to take a trade, so. Ooh, there's that reaction off that bullish imbalance. I was saying, like, that bullish imbalance looks pretty good, but I don't go against the trend, so. Hopefully get some movement and doesn't just chop sideways. We do have, I mean, we got room to the 757s. So you look at the 757 level, which is 7, yeah, it's all the way up here. And hold on, 757. Ooh. Dude, that's a nice area. View up is 748s. View up is 748s. That 757 level, maybe hold on. Let me see if I can see it better on an hourly chart. Yeah. This 757 level right here, or 762. Pretty much this old support turned into new resistance. So I would love to see price kind of come up here. 757 level. It is view ups up there. So if it can really push up there near view up, that would give me a pretty good short entry if I get the confirmation to go short there. That's something I would love to see. So I'd rather wait for that than take a stupid trade and then, you know, lose money. And but if it breaks this high, up here, I mean, that's pretty good. Forming some structure here. Dun, 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 dun. What time is it? 7:44. So we got 16 minutes left till news comes out. I don't think it's going to have much of an impact, though. Here, while I wait for this, give me a second. I'll be back. Let me grab something. Nice. Still pushing. Push, baby, push. Push it. Dang, that actually, oh my gosh. That was a good setup. I didn't want to take this because, like I said, I do not trade against the trend, but this was a good setup right here. This kind of reversal confirmation back inside the 5-minute range. Pulling back into this imbalance that formed right inside that 5-minute range. So we kind of rebalanced into that bullish imbalance, and then a reaction right off it, right back up there. So that would have been, if you had your stops at the lows and, you know, target up here 1-to-1, perfect scalp. But again, I don't, hindsight 2020, but I don't take against the trend trades, meaning this would have been a completely against the trend trade. Oh. Gotta follow your rules. See what happens here. Question is, do we get a... Is it going to sweep these highs, or is it going to displace above those highs? One of the two is going to happen. Either it sweeps those highs or it starts displacing above. We got that 200 there that's going to act as a form of resistance. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Man, nobody wants to join your Telegram. Oh my gosh! Bruh, nobody wants to join your scammy Telegram. Banned. Blocked and you're banned. Don't write stupid comments. Do you base your trend off the day, week, or month? I mean, I look at the highest I look at for day trades for me personally is I look at the hourly chart. And general bias, if we're below, the way I form my bias is very simple. If we're below view up, we're bearish. So if we are, I don't have view up on this chart, I have it on my other chart, but even on like a 5-minute, 1-minute chart, right? If the trend on an hourly chart is bearish and you're below view up on a 1-minute chart, you're bearish. I'm a day trader, so if price action is below view up like it is right now, I only look for shorts. I don't look for longs. Even though like there was a good long setup, I just don't like going against the trend. Most of the time you get wrecked if you make a mistake going against the trend. You think it's good. A lot of times they'll be like, man, this looks like a good trade, and you're going against the trend and I'm getting stopped out. So I try to stay away from that. But looking at every time frame is important. I switch between like going from the hourly chart to the 15-minute chart to, like I see on an hourly chart here, we got room up to that, you know, like 750 level where we have this previous support, hopefully, you know, turning into new resistance if we can get a push up there and kind of get a correction. We also have an imbalance right there on the hourly chart right above those highs. So it's definitely an interesting spot. And we got view up there. So not a bad spot as terms of like risk to reward and going with the trend. And you can see I also look at the 200, right? You look on hourly chart, look at what price does near the 200. Look at all these rejections, 200 rejection, right? Look at that, 200 rejection, 200 rejection. So when we're below the 200, also typically bearish. We're in a bearish sentiment when we're below that 200 level. So I can get a pretty good quick idea. Look at that 15-minute. That 15-minute candle is not looking good for the bulls. Huge rejection off that 15-minute. Wow. Golly, man. Wanted a little bit higher. So we look at all the multiple chart all the time. Max I go is 15 minutes. I'm going to start looking at 1 hour more. Yeah, it's pay attention. I would say it's good for that hourly chart. I really look at the 200. If we're below that 200 level, the 200 EMA on the hourly chart, price tends to reject off that 200 a lot. So but yeah, for me, my general thing is even on a 1 minute, because I'm scalping it, so If we're below the 200, I mean, the view up on the 1 minute, I'm only looking for shorts. Wow, this thing is just like all this little momentum to the upside just got erased by like 3 candles. Dang, man. Crazy. Gosh, I hope this thing is not gonna just chop. It's fine. My thing is, I would rather go into the weekend not taking a trade than take a stupid trade and have a loss. So if we're gonna chop and this price action is not gonna give me anything, then there was one trade that sadly I missed. I wasn't paying attention. I was on a different time frame, but this 5 minute right here, once you see this imbalance, once we display, so we got 1, 2, 3 candle close below this 5 minute low, and then actually 2 candle close below that 5 minute low, and this third candle, when we had this push up, it kind of rebalanced into that imbalance, and then it went for that low again. So could have had a quick scalp off that imbalance just for the lows quickly, but that would have been what, 10, 20, that would have been like a 30-point trade. So if I would have had my stop 10, 20, 30, like 30 points up here, a 30-point target, wouldn't have been a bad trade. That was pretty much the only trade that I've seen so far that I could have taken that. Sadly, I was on a different time frame and I wasn't paying attention, so it's all right. Do you think Grok can help with trading? Maybe investing, maybe like long-term investing, it could help. But in terms of day trading, I don't think so. Second. Oh, crap. We're starting to displace. I'm just scared to take a short. Like, when we're all the way down here, bruh, I like, who knows, maybe I'll take a correction. If I do take a short, I mean, I'm not going to go heavy. I'm going to go small size. I mean, I would have to go small size just for the... It's just a dangerous area to short. Like, we're displacing, but we're at lows. I mean, this thing could reverse. If it's chopping sideways, this thing can reverse at any point and just chop right back up. So, don't want to get caught in that. How much do you make off this per day? I mean, it's not... Thing about trading is it's not like linear in a sense of like, you're not going to make money every single day. It's not as simple as hopping on the charts, taking a trade, making money, walking away. Like, you're always making money. You're going to have losses. You're going to have winning streaks. You're going to have losing streaks. So, it's there are days where you lose money. There's days where you make money. I just do this, like, I just trade. I really don't pay attention to, like, I don't even have a calendar thing where I pay, like, I'm just trying to grow my account. My PropFirm accounts. So, go small with tight stop losses. Tight stop losses are good, but you gotta make sure you're putting stop losses according to market structure. You do not want to put stop losses you do not want to put stop losses just because you want to have a tight stop loss, because then you're just going to get stopped out and chopped up by the market. This may be interesting right here. I'll probably take it on small size if I can get an entry. Obviously, do not copy me because you will get wrecked. But something on small size just to try it out. Again, this is not going to be heavy size because this is an area that's kind of risky. I can make a couple bucks per account. I have 7 accounts, so it's, you know, even small size does add up, you know. Small $100 trade is $700 in a day, so these little base hits. See if I can get a quick rebalance. They got us again. This price action's wild. This is why I say go with the trend. I mean, look if you're just going with the trend, you got all this momentum and then all of a sudden you get this downtrend. I mean, was this downtrend kind of unexpected? Not really. I mean, I expected this price action moving up. I expected we're going to turn back to the down, just considering where we are, right? We're on a big downtrend. We've been on a downtrend for a while, so not expecting this thing to reverse and just continue to the upside 1,000 points, right? So I'm seeing this thing move up, and I'm expecting it to go down. But the problem is it never took out any highs. I wanted it to go higher. So you kind of just go with what the market gives you. But this may be a little interesting. Let me see. Let's see. This is a dangerous area to short, but again, I'm taking it on small size if I do take it. It's because I like it, but with this market, you never know. Holy, what is going on? Oh, that's the news. There's the news. Pay attention to news. Holy crap. Man, that was a wild little candle. Started getting crazy volatile. Well, I'm willing to give this a try. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. It's small size. Oh my gosh, is this seriously gonna top tick this? No freaking way, dude. Oh my gosh. Bro, what is the chances? Oh, why? Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, literally, like, how close was that to filling me? Look at this. Check this out. Check this out. Look how freaking close that was to filling me. You can't make that up! Oh my gosh. That would have been a nice trade too, right down to the lows. Now, I mean, I have to cancel it because they've already filled that imbalance. It filled that imbalance, so now if it comes back up, it could inverse that imbalance. So I'm not willing to get caught in that inverse. That's a part of trading, and that's important when that kind of crap happens, that you don't like, you play it logically, right? I cancel my order. I'm not, it is what it is, you know. It's part of trading. It happens. You get top ticked like that, but gotta move on. It was a good scalp. It was a very good scalp. I just had my entry a little too high. Instead of, I should have had it at the very middle of that imbalance, not the top of the, I had it at the top of the imbalance. If I would have had it at the middle of that imbalance, I would have got filled perfectly. I mean, that would have been like the perfect fill. So. Give me a second, I'll be back. Ugh. Still here. Now, I mean, now looking at this, right? This imbalance here was, we got another one up here. Possibly, we'll see. This other one isn't bad either, because you got this previous level of support also when it made that reaction off the top of the 5-minute. So if we do get, the only thing is, if we do get a price to come up to the bottom of that 5-minute, this isn't a horrible, but it is a lot more risky. The fact of, because if it does end up pushing up, right, we have kind of this last line of defense. We do have an imbalance there, but we got these two highs up here that have not got taken out. So price could move up and take out those highs, rebalance to the view op. So it's tough. I mean, I'm just looking at risk to reward ratio. Not a bad risk to reward ratio. It would be, let's call it, what, 20, 34, 56, 70, 90, 100, 60. Yeah. Ooh, it would be a 20, what, 20? Sorry, hold on. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 point stop. 80 point stop with a 20, 30, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 100 point TP with an 80 point stop. Pretty much a 1-to-1, but We'll see. The only thing is it could go for those highs if it ends up pushing that high. This thing has like no momentum. It's just, I mean, to the upside, the freaking bears are absolutely dominating, which makes sense, right? Like I said, this is why I always go with the trend. Like, if you just go with the trend, look at all the... You could have made the stupidest decision and still gotten rewarded if you went with the trend. But if you're going against the trend, there's a lot higher likelihood you get stopped out. So... Hopefully this thing doesn't just chop around here. View op should be moving down. Let me see where view op is. Move down a little bit. Still. Wild. You know what's funny? I actually did end up hitting my... Where was my entry? Oh my gosh, it still ended up perfectly filling. My entry, remember when it top ticked it? My entry was right there. So it literally would have came up, tapped my entry, and then... But obviously, once it... The problem is once it fills it the first time and reacts off of it, I don't like to have it there, sitting, resting there. Because if it reacts off it the first time, there's the reaction. If it comes back again, it could inverse it. So it just would have been, anyways, a stupid trade. Even if I would have left the order there, that would have been just me trying to revenge trade. Even though hindsight 2020, it worked out, but that's not the point. When it reacts the first time, that's the initial reaction you look for, not the second, third reaction. We just... Come on, NASDAQ, move. Move it. We got some structure here I gotta be careful for. If it does start breaking that structure, coming up to these highs, I gotta be careful of that structure. Right, because if it does come up to these highs, now this structure, if it displaces this structure, this can hold as support. So when it does have that pullback, it can pull back into this support level now and then continue up to the upside. I don't know if it has it in it today. It's just not. Like, the bulls don't have it in them. If you look on higher time frames again, the hourly chart, again, we do have room to the upside. That's the thing. It's like there's room for a correction, some sort of a correction at this point. Man, we even got room. It would be nice to get a move back up to this 760 level. 750 level. It's tough, 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 tough. I feel like it's just gonna inverse it, man. Ugh. To be a dangerous... It's like a good trade, but also a dangerous trade. I'm just like... I'm not confident in it. Just because... This thing has so much correction to have that can happen. I'm always like... Just like I was skeptical on this kind of... The reason is when you're shorting at the lows... It gets a little bit dangerous when you're shorting at lows. You got to be very careful for not be greedy, because that's the thing. Is I've gotten to a spot where I'm like, if I want to take a trade and I'm not like if I like the trade but I'm not the most confident in the trade, like there's other things that look bad in it, then I'll just take it, but on small size. So if I do take a loss, it's a very small loss. Versus if I see a trade and I'm confident in the trade and I really like that trade, I'll go heavier size on a trade that I really like than versus a trade that I'm not the most confident in. Ugh. Bulls are playing golf. Yeah, it seems like they're all off. They all took the day off at the same time. They're at the country club. Hey, I would do the same thing if I was a bull. I'd just be like, yeah, I'm taking the day off. Imagine like coming onto the charts. Imagine coming into the office, seeing this like crazy downtrend and being like, all right, I'm going to take a day off. I'm out. Which I'm sure some people probably do that. If some people are looking for a bigger pullback, they come in, they see that waiting for a better, bigger pullback or whatever, and they're just kind of like, there's no point of sitting here through. Most of it is algorithmic anyway, so it's not like... There are some trading firms that still have live traders, though. I don't know if they day trade necessarily. Probably not day trading, but... Alright, we're at 10:15, coming up on the 10:30 mark soon. May take this on small size. We'll see. This thing can... It is a dangerous trade because we could take out those highs. We have not taken out any highs really all morning long. But let's have some fun. See if I can get a reaction off it. Not going to be greedy. Not going to be stupid with it. Come on, a little bit higher. Little bit higher. Ugh. I'm gonna try it. Not the... Again, please don't copy me or you will get wrecked. Oh my gosh, do not tell me. If it taps this 522 level, I'm canceling my order, because then that's the correction back down that I was looking for. Bro, you gotta be freaking kidding me. Dude, second time in a row. Second time in a row. Oh my gosh, bruh. Bro, that's the... I don't know what to say. It's like it comes literally right up to my order and then reacts right off into the downside. I mean, that's kind of where I wanted my TP to be too, right? I was looking for this reaction to come up, react right back down to this kind of support level. Now this turns into support. Now we get a reaction off this as a support level. Back up. Ugh. It hasn't filled that imbalance. That's the thing, is it reacted right under it. So I don't know if it's we're kind of on an uptrend, so I don't know if I should still keep that order in or not. Should I? On small size? Maybe. We'll see. I feel like I'm starting to revenge trade, to be honest with you. I don't know if this is smart. I've gotten top ticked already a couple times, and I'm gonna be careful though. I'm not gonna be greedy here. Are they like watching freaking... You can't make this crap up, dude. It's like no matter where I put my entry, it just comes like super close to it, and then I feel like I'm trying to put in a $30 million trade and everybody's getting spooked as soon as I put the entry in. Like, what is this crap? Y'all are my witnesses. As soon as I put an entry in, it comes super close up to it and then reacts up right off it. This is the third time in a row in one morning. I literally feel like I'm somebody trading like $30 million positions where I put an order in and everybody sees $30 million short, and then everyone's getting spooked and, you know, front running me. Look at that. Look at that beautiful reaction. And I had my entry at, it was like less than 10 points away. My order was right there. Same thing with the first one. My order was just, I think I need to call it. To be honest with you, when you get front run like that 2 times already, 3 times in a row, like, it gets to the point where you start to get a little bit, you start to get antsy to revenge trade. Especially 3 times in a row when it would have been like perfect trades if it would have just pushed up just a tiny bit more. Milk sandwich. What? I need some milk. That's what I need. I need some milk. I need some milk. Speaking of milk, I gotta go buy milk. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, market probably not going green today. I agree. There is no signs that this market's gonna go green today. Bulls and bears are heads to Trump's. Listen, there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. This is why you get chopped sideways. You get downtrends. You get... When we got a lot of fear in the market, like, what's the VIX at right now? Kind of curious to see. I mean, we're at... Yeah. We're at 15 on the... We're at extreme fear right now on the fear and greed index. On the fear and greed index, we're literally at extreme fear. So everyone's super like freaked out. So it makes sense why market tends to go sideways. We get downtrends. Nobody with good size that moves the market is gonna want to really be longing millions of dollars when this thing is dropping. I'll go at this point, yeah. Oh, 100%. This is 90% is algorithmic, but you gotta understand they shift their algos. Like when the Iran conflict came out, when the whole Iran stuff started going down, all the hedge funds start shifting their algos to make sure, according to the market sentiment. When we get a lot of positive news, algos are always shifting. They're not always running the same way. It's continuing bearish, but there isn't much liquidity down there. Yeah, I don't have the... But Not many people are. We're at a weird area, right? Where it's like, I'm trying to scalp this. We're at lows. So think about it this way, right? Shorting this also gets to a point where we're like, it is a dangerous area to short because we're at the lows. We're literally at the lows. So shorting the lows is not always the smartest thing to do. Now, if you're scalping, that's one thing. But shorting at the lows is dangerous. But then trying to long at the lows of a bear market is also stupid. So it's almost like either way you do it, it's a stupid trade. Unless you're like, you're trying to do what I do, and I'm just trying to scalp this. I'm literally trying to look for like, 50-point moves. So I'm not trying to go with the trend, wait for that kind of correction, and then go with the trend again. So either way you kind of look at it, it is a dangerous area to trade into. But so far, I mean, all my looks were correct. It's just my entries got literally comes up like less than 10 points away from my entry and then reacts right off it. So that was like 3 times in a row. It would have been a perfect trade if I would have just gotten filled. But this is where it separates the good traders from, I feel like, the experience from the inexperience. Because inexperience, you start to feel this, like, when you get top ticked, when you get edged 3 times in a row like that, you get to a point where you do, like, I even felt it inside of me where I'm like, I'm wanting to revenge trade because it's like starting to piss you off that it's coming so close to your order and then not filling it and just kind of reacting right below it. So you start to get this revenge trade, but you gotta keep yourself in check and not revenge trade because, there's gonna be more trades to come. There's no reason to try to revenge trade. I mean, I can walk away, and this is why I can walk away and not take a trade, and I'll be perfectly fine. Going into the weekend, in the back of my mind, I still feel good. Even though if I walk away not taking a trade, I feel good for the fact of I had good orders in the market. It's just didn't go, didn't fill me exactly. But the orders were good. The kind of the look was good. I had the right bias pretty much. So I could still walk away and still feel good about it. I haven't traded, to be honest, I haven't traded all week this week. So it's been I gotta start coming in more often. Meaning every day, but like it's just been going to bed too late. I've been trying to fix that about my life. I go to bed way too late, so I've been trying to go to bed earlier so that I get enough sleep so I can wake up and not be tired. Because that does affect your trading. If you're waking up and you're tired, you're sitting here like tired trading, that does affect it. I mean, trading is such a difficult thing. You want to be clear-minded, Get enough sleep, pop in that neuro gum. Got all the cylinders firing in my head. Oh, snap. TikTok, ticky-tacky. Puzzles. Puzzle time. Trying to make me solve a verification puzzle. Just don't go long. Yeah, I mean, like I always say. Give me a second. Like I always say, go with the trend. Go with the trend. Like, look at all the opportunities if you were just going with the trend. I had this for the longest time when I started to trade. In like the first year of my trading. For some odd reason, and I think a lot of people get stuck in this trap. We think of like, we want to catch the bottoms in the tops, right? We always want to short at the tops and we want to catch the very bottoms. You don't have to do that. You don't have to try to predict the bottoms and try to catch the exact bottom and then, like, you just have to go with the trend, wait for a reaction, and go with the trend. Go with everybody. Stop going swimming against the current. You're making trading so much more harder for yourself. Now, if you're one of the few people that has a strategy that works, that you've proven to yourself, and you're kind of a reversal trader, and you go against the trends, there are a few people who can make it work, but for the majority, that's like super experienced people. For the majority, I would say go with the trend. I mean, I've personally gotten wrecked so many times trying to go against the trend that at some point I'm like, all right, I gotta change something because it obviously it's not working. And so that's why I implemented that rule for myself. Like even today, I had a perfect opportunity to go against the trend. This is actually something that I used to look for that was working well, where we have the 5-minute range, right? And when price closes outside of the 5-minute range, closes back inside the 5-minute range, leaves an imbalance inside the 5-minute range, I look for this reaction off that for the high. So hindsight 2020, it did work out, but like regardless, I still do not go against the trend because I've done it so many times to where I gotten wrecked and then I just get mad at myself for going against the trend. And then I look back and I'm like, if I would have just went with the trend, I would have been in a way better position. So it's just a tip. You don't have to listen to me, obviously. It's not financial advice, but it's something I went through. So if you're someone who keeps getting stopped out and you notice yourself always going against the trend, you know, think about it. I had made 145 ticks in 8:58, but I normally trade after 9:50. So that's pre-market. Yeah, you gotta have rules for yourself and follow your rules. Like if you implement some sort of a rule, follow it. Be patient. This is what trading is all about, is being patient and, you know, going with the trend. All you need is a small, you don't need in 100 point scalp. You don't need a 100-point move. It seems like everybody tries to make it seem in social media where you need these like big winners and stuff like that to try to flex, but like with a good risk to reward, if you can catch a 40-point scalp with a good risk to reward ratio, like that's all you need. Quick reaction, quick scalp. Obviously, some people like to hold it long. That's why trading is so like, some people like to hold longer and it works for them. It's just whatever works for you. This is why trading is difficult and it takes time to learn, to develop, to really... What website? I use Ninja Trader. Yeah, it looks like we're starting to just chop. It's better not taking bad trades or forcing trades than blowing the account. Yeah, it's... Listen, I'm at the point now, I've been trading for a while, I'm at the point where if I take a stupid trade, like you know when you take a stupid trade, right? When you take a trade that's like a revenge trade, a dumb trade that you shouldn't have taken, it breaks your rules. But let's just say I take a stupid trade and I make good money on that trade. Guess what? I'm at the point where I will actually be pissed off. I can walk away from the computer, I can shut down the computer having made money and still be pissed off. Because I'm at the point of my trading where I don't get pissed off for making or losing money. I get pissed off for breaking my rules. That's the thing that I get pissed off about. I can take a trade where it's a perfect trade. Everything aligns. I'm going with the trend. I'm following all my rules. And I get stopped out. I can walk away happy. Even though I lost money, even though I got stopped out, I can still walk away happy because it's not about me making money today. It's about me following my rules. Right? It's not about short term, I have to make money today. I have to make money today. I have to take a trade and make money today. No, it's about following my rules. Regardless if I make money or lose money today. If I followed my rules, it's a good day. If I broke my rules, it's still it's a bad day regardless if I made money or lost money. So I guess maybe I'm just like, I've just been trading for too long where I'm not looking for this like, I'm not looking for this quick dopamine hit to try to trick my brain into how I made money. I know if it's a stupid trade and I made money, it's not really my money because I'm just going to give it away if I keep doing that. It's like just getting lucky. You know, it's not about, I don't want to get lucky in trading. I want to use my skills to be able to take good trades and use my discretion to be able to take good trades and strategy. That's the hard part. It's not only strategy, it's strategy, psychology, discretion. There is a level of discretion in trading also that's like where if you watch the markets for 3 years every single day, you get to a point where you're like, I don't have a good feeling about this. Like, I don't really like the way this is moving. And you kind of see how price is reacting off certain levels. You kind of can get a feel for how the market's moving today. Patience is what can get you. Patience is everything in trading. If you found 5 or 15 minute fair value gap, make sure you look at the nearest candles that line with the fair value gap. Yeah, stuff like that. Like, it's honestly surprising if you have a strategy and you look for stuff like minor tweaks in your strategy can actually improve your win rate by a lot. That's why making sure to keep track of your losing trades, of your winning trades, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong is super important. Because the most and listen, there are going to be times where you are going to have to tweak your strategy. And that's just the part, that is the other difficult part about trading. You have different market conditions, right? A market condition during tariff, like right now, when we had tariff news, right now with the Iran war, market starts to move differently and you have to adapt. Sometimes you have to sit on your hands. Sometimes you have to just stop trading for a while because the market's not moving the way you want it to move. Most emotional trader I know. Well, there's nothing wrong with being an emotional trader. The thing that is wrong is when you let your emotions control your trading. If you don't get emotional trading, you're probably a freaking robot. Everyone gets emotional trading. The problem is when you let your emotions control your trading, when you start to cancel your stop loss, when you start to move your stop loss, you start to adjust based, like, then it becomes a problem. You've seen the movie, what's it called? I'm sure you've seen the movie Wolf of Wall Street. Tell me that's not an emotional movie. It seems pretty emotional to me. Imagine how emotional people are putting on millions of dollars in trades. Like, imagine taking a $20 million trade. How emotional will you be taking a loss on $5 million, position? You're gonna be emotional. So, people are emotional. But that's where you as a trader have to be disciplined. It's discipline. It's being able to take a loss and walk away and not let it bother you, not let it control. And if you're getting to the point where you're taking a loss and it's really affecting your emotions that much to where you're like thinking about it and like you're way too aggressively sized, right? You don't want to be so sized that you're just like, you take a loss and it ruins your whole weekend. If that's what's happening, that's a problem. But if you're like emotional in your trade and you walk away, like I can walk away, when I walk away from this computer today and I go, I'm not even gonna think about trading anymore. It's like, if I take a loss and I walk away, I don't even think about it. I just walk away and I'm kind of like, all right, it is what it is. I'm gonna come back Monday. I'll try to figure out if I did anything wrong, but it's not gonna affect me at all. Can you look at the 5 and 15? Yeah, let me quickly. 5 minute. So 5-minute, we did get the reaction off the, if you see this, we had this previous level of support. Now we kind of displaced below it when we got that uptrend. This is also why it's important to look at higher time frames. Now you see a clearer picture of why did we react? Why did we get a push up and why did we get a short right there? Look at that big imbalance. Previous level of support turned into new resistance. And you kind of got that push up into that imbalance and reaction back down. So, right, looking at the higher time frame makes sense why price reacted where it did. So we are still just confirming that downtrend, right? Ever since the morning we made that high, we kind of came up into this imbalance right there, reacted off that imbalance, got a displacement, right? Got a displacement below the lows, came back up, reacted off that imbalance. So we're still continuing this downtrend. This downtrend is not shifting. You can even draw, right? You could draw this line right there. I mean, this is like a perfect, right? You get this like still perfect downtrend right there. So going with the trend, as long as you went with the trend today. So I always say go with the trend. Just stop trying to go against it. That's the 5-minute. So 15-minute, right? Similar thing is going on 15-minute, right? We got a push up to the bottom of that 5-minute range. This is why also I mark out the 5-minute range, because we get reactions off it. When we get displacements, we do get reactions off the 5-minute range. 5-minute range says a lot. When we start displacing below it, we can get continuations below it. Start displacing above it, we can get continuations above it. We start to kind of chop inside, it's just a choppy market. So, still, look at that. 15-minute, massive downtrend. Hourly chart. Every time frame is still showing a downtrend. Every single time frame is showing downtrend. And now we're just stuck at these lows here. Man, that would have been the best freaking short of all time if I could have... if it would have filled me. To be honest, I wouldn't have taken this whole trade. I wouldn't have held it all the way to the bottom. I probably would have taken profits. I would have taken profits somewhere right here. So it would not, like, not trying to pretend like I would have caught that whole move. Down since yesterday, 25K, but I made 60K in the last 4 weeks, still holding position. Yeah, whatever. Biggest thing is just follow your rules, follow your rules, follow your rules. Following your rules is what's going to keep you safe. Because you're going to have losing streaks, and when you have losing streaks, your rules are there to protect yourself. If you don't have rules, you start to go until one trade turns into 2 losers, turns into 3, turns into 4, turns into a blown account. It's like... we have President speaking at 4:30, but there is impact at 9? What do you mean impact at 9? If he's speaking at 4:30, market closes at 4. So, market's going to be closed. Having your 150 points and he has nice. Don't get greedy. Take profits. Don't try to hold for, you know, an insane amount. Take your profits. Take profits where it makes sense to take profits. If you want to scale out positions, a lot of people, if you want to catch a bigger move, scale out. Protect your profits, right? Take some off at this low. Take some off at this low, right? Move your stop losses down. Move your stop losses into profits. Like, work your trade. Or if you're somebody who wants to go for bigger moves. Me personally, I don't do that. I take profits where it makes sense. I put my stop loss where it makes sense. I don't get greedy, because I've found myself personally, when I get greedy, I end up getting wrecked if I get greedy. It just ends up stopping me out. And oh, revised consumer oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, here, someone's here. Give me a second. going into to 23. I mean, not 23. That's like, it's a long ways away. I doubt we're gonna get there today, but something crazy would have to happen for us to get there today. That would be really bad. But yeah, over time, it's possible. I mean, it all depends on how long this negative sentiment's gonna last for. Are we gonna get any positive? Like, nobody really knows. Nobody knows, right? So it's like, if this negative sentiment, Iran war, all this like crap keeps going on, then yeah, absolutely we could pull all the way back down there. But if we get some sort of good news, some sort of, I mean, the market, who knows? Good news during the weekend, the market could start to rip Monday and we could start going on an uptrend. Like, it all just depends. Nobody really knows in the end. Like, the smallest good news can, like, imagine if like good news came out, oh, you know, the conflict is Iran conflict is resolved, you know, the Strait of Hormuz is open to the US, and like good news like that comes out, market's gonna start to rip on Monday. Like, absolutely probably go haywire on Monday is what I would expect. No, I'm not saying trust the news, but I'm like, the market does react off the news. Regardless if the news is fake or if the news is real or fake, right? How many times I'm sure you've seen, you can get fake news stories that come out that can affect the market. So it really doesn't matter if the news is real or false. If positive news comes out on a major news source, it's going to affect the market. Now, like, if fake news comes out, it affects the market in a positive way. Let's say it's good news, and then they find out it's not actually true. Guess what? We're going to go right back down. It's going to correct. Should I take my profit, or does it make sense to hold it over a stop loss near profit? I would take profits. I mean, that's... I advise to always take profits at lows, at specific levels, because you have stuff like this happen. When you get to lows, like, you got to understand, we can get a reversal at this low. Like, there is a high chance we could get some sort of a reversal like we are right now. So you want to take profits at lows. You want to scale out and then move your stop to... I personally don't like to do that because I've got stopped out at break even. I usually just like to take full profits. But absolutely protect yourself. Don't think that this thing is just going to keep going down, 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 down. Like, don't be a good amount in profit and then allow it to just, like, give everything right back. And then you're just like, you barely made any money when you were up a decent amount. Like, it doesn't make sense to do that. But yeah, if you're gonna hold, be smart about it. You know, move your stop loss to break even, move it in profit. Like, be smart about it. That's why you have to have rules that make sense for yourself if you're gonna do that. But yeah. So, not a horrible day today in price action. Pretty decent. I mean, there were multiple setups. Three setups that edged me that never filled me. But it's, you know, it is what it is. You kind of you live with it. And we'll see what happens on Monday. Now this thing is starting to correct. I mean, it's kind of obvious, right? We took out a low, starting to correct. We could come for this high up here. We could start taking out this high. So it's like. But be careful if you're trading prop firms. So one thing before I leave, if you're trading prop firms, be careful about the trailing stop. If you have an account with a trailing stop, like be careful that like you can be crazy in profit and still blow your account because of that trailing stop loss. So if you do have a live trailing drawdown account with a prop firm, be very careful. If you have an end of day drawdown, that's different, but so yeah, warning session is officially over. We're going into the lunch hour, so could get some chop. I think I'm done today, so I asked Funded Next about trailing drawdown. They said no. Don't trade more than 1 or 2 per day. If you lost, probably get off ASAP. Wait a minute. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how I have the rules for myself. If I take 2 losses in a row, I am 100% off. Like, that rarely happens. So if I take 2 losses in a row, I'm done for the day. There is absolutely no shot that I'm going to take 3 losses in a row. So obviously, like, if you take 2 losses in a row, you're not seeing the market correctly. So you need to have rules for yourself to get yourself off and shut down if you're not seeing the market correctly. Which there are days that happen to everyone. It's just not moving the way you want it to move, so. And yeah, we all learn the hard way. I had to learn the hard way. This is why I have rules for myself, is because I had to learn the hard way. So, but the important thing is you do learn, right? If you're somebody who keeps making the same mistake expecting different results, you're literally the definition of insane. But if you're making mistakes and you're fixing the mistakes and implementing rules to protect yourself to not go through that again, then, right, you're improving, you're learning, you're being smart. That's fine. As long as you learn from your mistakes, there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. So, all right, it's 11 o'clock. I'm going to hop off. I'll see you guys on Monday. I'll be back Monday. We'll see what kind of price action we get Monday. Hopefully get good price action. We'll see. But y'all enjoy your weekend. Appreciate you guys for being here. And yeah, don't overtrade. Be smart about it. Go into the weekend on a good note. And yeah, other than that, peace out. Have a good weekend.